Welcome to Social Aloe Ministries, where we are committed to glorifying God while exposing the devil. In this installment of the Prophetic Academy, I'm going to speak about silenced prophets. Now, I did a teaching once before about silent prophet, which is when a prophet knows something. The Lord has released a prophet to speak, but the prophet does not speak. And as a result, people get in trouble. But this is about when prophets are silenced. The devil, he hates prophets of the Lord or those who are prophetic. Now, he will try to recruit prophetic people to serve him. If they don't, then warfare ensues, and it comes in a lot of ways. In Jeremiah 20, in around verse 7, the prophet spoke about how he was in derision daily, how people were even mocking him. And he said he wasn't going to speak the word of the Lord anymore. But down in verse 9, it speaks about how he tried holding it in, but the words, they were like fire shut up in his bones, and he could not forbear, so he had to speak those words. So at least with Jeremiah, because of all that mockery that was going on, he tried to stop talking. But the word of the Lord, wouldn't allow him to. When you look in 1 Kings 19, Elijah had a tremendous victory for the Lord on Mount Carmel. But then Jezebel, someone who I firmly believe, the reason why there were 850 false prophets who sat at her table was because she was killing the prophets of the Lord. She gave them a choice, like the devil will, to either serve her and her God or die. And I firmly believe that prophets of the Lord converted. Some fled, some died, but I firmly believe that some converted. But Elijah fled, and he had an encounter with the Lord, and the Lord sent him back. And that's what you'll encounter sometimes, where the enemy will try to silence you, but you must continue speaking the word of the Lord. I remember at the end of 2018, I was going to this Bible study, and a young lady told me about her mother, a prophetess. And unfortunately, a person is not serving the Lord, at least last time I heard. And it grieves me to this day. And I heard about some of the warfare that she endured. And I can relate. I can relate. The enemy loves to remove the watchmen from the walls, to shut down the prophetic voices. But we can't let him. We can't let him. Like with Elijah, he just needed a bit of encouragement. In 1 Samuel 30, David was also a prophet of the Lord. His entire family had been captured from Ziklag when he was staying with the Philistines. And a part of that, David's men were about to stone him because their families were taken also. And it speaks about how David encouraged himself in the Lord. And then he inquired of the Lord, and the Lord told him he could go and pursue the Amalekites who had taken their families, and that he would be successful. But David encouraged himself in the Lord. So as a prophet, there are times when the Lord will encourage you. You may have to encourage yourself, or others will encourage you. But at all costs, you cannot be a silenced prophet. And I remember a couple of years ago, and I don't remember exactly what happened, but I was, in a sense, willing to shut things down. It's like, Lord, if I'm not in accordance with your will, I will shut things down. And the Lord gave me a gentle rebuke, which was, He did not call me for me to remain silent. Likewise, whatever the Lord has called you to do, He has not called you to remain silent. Despite the warfare, He has not called you to remain silent. One of the things about Jeremiah, people were not listening to him, but the Lord did not call him to remain silent. I still have a teaching to do about seers, and one of the things I'll speak about is what is mentioned in Isaiah 29 verse 10. Now the Lord speaks about covering the eyes of the seers and covering the heads of the prophets. Or correction, covering the eyes of the prophets and the heads of the seers. And the enemy's trying to do the same thing. Put blindness on the Lord's prophetic people, to cover their ears, to even instill fear, to prevent them from declaring what the Lord is saying. Do not become a silenced prophet. And if you are, please repent and ask the Lord to send you forward. For a while, Jonah was a silenced prophet when he was in the belly of the whale, but he cried out to the Lord, and the Lord put him back on assignment. So this is a clarion call to those who you're undergoing warfare in an attempt to silence you, but even more so for those who have been silenced to get back on the wall and start declaring what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. God bless you.